right? Like, it's uncomplicated, but they're also not being forced to go to the depths of things. Still, after getting a big run for their money on the last, maybe we'll see a little bit more from them on Vertigo. I'm guessing a lot of A-ramp fights.
Yeah, probably. And I mean, one thing for Boss that was looking great in the first half and not so much in the second half was that everyone was contributing in that first half, and it felt like they were all playing their roles well. And then the second half, it was just Freshie who was popping off, and they had some moments from other players, but Freshie was the key piece, and they need everyone else to perform well to have success, especially against a team like Elevate, who kind of did what Boss was doing in that first half throughout the entire match, and that's everyone finding impact. We already have the action underway here, of course, into this first round of play, and Brett gets the opener. Let's not forget Elevate won both pistol rounds on Ancient.
Ooh, expecting the nades. That's the darty check just to see if the HEs were coming out. No HEs to be had. It'll just be a straightforward retake here. They are moving en masse. The amoeba of USPs can be a dangerous one. Ooh, they're just sticking. They're just straight sticking this. Nice nade. And the kill goes through. That denies the kit defuse, but it is just PwnAlone now. Kit's picked back up. Oh, no. He's not got the stop. They're going to get away with another pistol and a shot to boot.
It feels like the same story as Ancient, Mike. Boss, a nice play, a great plant, and then a ridiculous individual effort and some great aiming coming through on the Elevate side. I mean, Peeping just popped 3 heads like it was nothing. PwnAlone gets the trade, but then, as was the situation for him, not in a pistol round, but in one of those rounds over on Ancient, he just couldn't get that player that was defusing the bomb, and in the end, he actually goes down in that fight. So, wow. Elevate just will not lose a pistol. 3 for them tonight. We'll see if they get that 4th in that second half, but right now, Boss has to focus up here. They did get that bomb plant. They have Galils across the board. Little bit of util. Might have wanted a MAC-10 to get a little more in play. It's going to be 2 smokes and 2 Molotovs along with a lone flashbang for PwnAlone. On the other side, it's kind of the same story for Elevate. They favor the rifles over the util. I would say it's more problematic right now for the T side, though. And as you predicted, Mike, we're going to get some A-ramps. A-ramp rushes, A-ramp fights.
This is a Boss's T side as well. This is the bread and butter of the Vertigo. And Elevate clearly expecting something else, because look at how heavy the lean is over towards B initially. They're just going to pop a nade. That does not take the bounce he was hoping it would. And now, pushed off of this. Smoke going to go down. This is another bomb plant up. But this time, actually, they've got double mollies to play for the post. There's smokes for the retake. There's still just the 1 kid on there. How long do they want to hold these mollies? Oi, nice first kill. There's the first Molotov deployed as well to force them out into the open. Whew. Freshie on the angle. Smoke. Not quite where you want it for the bounce on the bomb, but the second one certainly will be. Good spray down, though, from Cryptic. Keeps them from getting onto that tap, and now time's ticking away. They don't know where the kit's gone, and they're not going to be able to deal with Cryptic whatsoever. Boss win the force buy.
Wow, okay. Good job from Boss to respond immediately after losing that pistol round. It got scary at a few moments. You saw so much damage done to Elevate, both with the spam and the nades, but they weren't able to get frags, and you saw bodies falling. You get a little concerned. You say, okay, hold on a second. What are you doing, Boss? Cryptic, though, the IGL comes to the rescue, gets 3, closes the door on Elevate, and gives Boss that critical response after losing the pistol round and forcing Elevate down to pistols only. It will be a force buy regardless for Elevate. A shot from Snav that misses the mark. But Boss will have the edge here. Snav, are you going to push up here? Are you going to make a little bit of a risky play? He's not, and he eats a nade. That's a well-tossed nade, actually, from Cryptic.
That's a chunky meatball. Good HE value out of this so far. Cryptic looking to make some more. They're taking this really slowly, aren't they? Still a minute on the clock. And they're waiting for Brett to work his way up on this mid lurk. That's presumably what they're waiting for. You know, the kill to be gift wrapped over towards them, or to give Brett some room to work. He's just now shifting his way on up. Good shot on the snav. Bomb going down. Shouldn't be much more that we expect out of this round.
Yeah. I mean, yes, they go A ramp 3 rounds in a row, but it's not that typical, okay, let's just rush out A ramp and try to get frags. They are taking it slow, which is good. And they're showing a lot of respect for Elevate, which they need to, because Elevate can be good in any round, especially when you're perhaps getting a little lackadaisical and thinking, oh, they only have the pistols. No, you have to be careful and methodical, and that's exactly what Cryptic and his squad does. 2-1 in favor of Boss. Peeping, the last one standing. He'll be able to save the kit, the body armor, and the 5.7. There's some value here. Maybe he won't be able to, actually, because Cryptic's going to come around the corner, blindsided by Peeping, who picks up the MAC-10, gets a second. Right. They're not going to be able to kill him.
All right. Not a big deal that he survives through, but it's nice, certainly.
Peeping!
The money made is nice.
Wow.
Almost gets the third. But a little bit extra cash, right? That's going to give them a little extra wiggle room. And actually, if Peeping saves it through this round, this could be an op in the next. Where's the loss bonus at now? We're at third round loss bonus. So what, 2,400 coming through? Yep. He could drop an op if he survives with the armor.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean,
Peeping just gonna go find a hidey hole and never leave it.
I would imagine that he'll be on the front lines with the MAC-10 and trying to get some opening frags, but maybe he'll hide and just save that MAC. No, he's over at mid. He's actually.
This isn't really a hiding team.
No, it's not at all.
They are not. When they were kids, they were not playing hide and seek. They were playing tag. You're it. I mean, there were some crazy tag variants as a kid.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there another tag?
It's like freeze tag, flashlight tag.
Oh, fair enough.
I feel like there was like a team tag variant, but I'm struggling to remember the rules for that one.
I mean, I just did the tag. You're it. You know, that's.
You never did freeze tag? That's where when you get tagged, you have to freeze, and then to unfreeze someone, you have to crawl through their legs.
Nah, I don't remember. Maybe in school, like, played that, but not as, like, with just my friends.
Never did flashlight tag? Flashlight tag's banger.
No, but I know what it is. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you go after dark, you tag people with the flashlight. That one's fun.
Well, Peeping's having fun here. He got the
MAC-10 frag kill. I mean, $600 on each one. He gets one more. He's getting it up regardless of what happens here.
Yeah.
I think he might be now anyway. Okay, Dia out. They're going to give this a little look. Peeping does have a kit. There's no smoke to cover it off. And he is the one fighting forward, but if he just gets the tap, they may not be anticipating the kit. Okay, he's been holding off. Should be all good. Still heavy damage on. They're making this hella expensive.
That's still good.
Oh,
that's
great.
Still really good for Elevate. I mean, yes, you lose the round, but 3 players taken down. Money built up by Peeping, who unfortunately won't be able to get the op. That's
no, he could. He could have.
He chose not to.
5,300 spent. Yeah, this is a willful decision.
Yeah.
Could have prioritized the AWP, but they're not going to do it for Dia.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be up just yet.
I imagine Dia is very much itching to get in his hands as well. He's 0-4 so far. He wants that AWP on the CT side of Vertigo. Maybe play that ramp a little bit. But it's not going to happen just yet. Elevate. They want to get some rounds here. Boss looking for a 4th. Dia playing aggressively towards A main briefly before falling back. You see Boss going for a boost here. He stares. Won't catch anything. Shane is watching for it. Not on his watch, as they get 1 frag their way and a 5v4 advantage.
Sometimes I love how perfectly like conical the volumetric smokes are. It looks so funny compressed into the scaffolding there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a marshmallow. So fluffy.
It's great.
Never thought I'd want to eat a smoke before, but
okay.
It's like cotton candy, man. It's like cotton candy. Good shot for Brett on the smoke fade. He'll be taking a bite out of their setup. Two players are field on B. Do they accelerate here? Ooh, they just might. Ooh, Freshie might accelerate a little bit more
That
than
was
he'd like
careless.
to. A little disjointed here in this take, and it is falling apart for Boss as a result. See what PwnAlone can bring back through? They had time as well. This is what I'm talking about sometimes with the comms. Maybe a little bit of confusion. Maybe they thought there was a third player over there as well. I don't know. Just didn't seem to get the information all together in the right time.
Yeah. I don't think
PwnAlone's going to save.
I don't think Freshie was aware of the fact that anyone was there. You don't make that play if you expect someone to be around the corner, because he went up close, didn't throw the smoke from a distance, was trying to underhand toss it in that position and then fade away. But like, someone holding that angle will get that frag every single time. So that's just a misread and a misplay, and like you said, perhaps even a miscomm. Second round found for Elevate, as they take control there in that one. But it will still be Boss having enough cash to buy up pretty much fully here, at least in terms of guns. Utility is another story. 2 pieces each. Maybe a third coming in, yes. So a third for Freshie's got the HE, but I think that's actually dropped for him from Brett. Anyway, here comes Boss. They're going for a quick play potentially up the B ramp. A Molotov will slow them down for sure. They have some presence there already. Cryptic. A little bit of damage from that HE that flies his way. Snav throwing a ton of util here down the ramp. He wants to go aggressive and take that space, and he does. PwnAlone could punish, and he doesn't get the opportunity. Snav, in his view, briefly, but not long enough for PwnAlone to pull the trigger.
Well, re-smoked upstairs. Might just slow this down. But it seems not much. They're going for the B hit. Molotov clear out the first angle. Waiting on the smoke fade. Getting up above the railing. And in they go. Here's the motion. Here's the movement. Nice CT smoke to try and slow them down. But here comes the motion. Shots are landing. Flashbang's good. Counter flash is excellent. Still, bomb's going to be planted. Oh, out ahead of the smoke for Dia. That was risky. That was bold. And it's turning into a bit of a massacre here. Shane's DC'd. Oh, no. It's just going to be to Snav. It's down to the 1v1. It's down to the clutch. Shane is not on the server with us anymore. And he swings wide. Oh, but the audio cue's missed. Expect him to come back around. PwnAlone now ready. Give him one more look. Give him one more look, he says. Ooh, 10 seconds. Needs to plant this bomb, and he's just going to swing, and the no-scope does connect. That's going to be a tough round for Elevated. DC doing them in. Call them VP.
Ugh, yeah. That was such an unfortunate circumstance in the major. A lot higher stakes there, but still, this is unfortunate as well for Elevate, because they had 2 players that would have been alive in that situation in a 2v1, and instead, well, they lose their player. He disconnects. Who knows what happened? Probably just a crash that came through, and he'll be back soon, hopefully.
New game. New game. Just the struggles of the new game, right? I mean, it's just a constant state. You know, if it's NVIDIA drivers or it's anything else, this is just the reality. We have a lot of crashes still in CS2, and that's something that will get ironed out as time goes on, but it is definitely still a reality of the game right now. Even if you got a monster machine and everything's right, well, sometimes it just doesn't care. CS is a hungry god.
It'll get resolved eventually. I mean, if we compare the state of CS2 now to what it was a year ago, it's a vast improvement, right? Especially in terms of the sub-tick. It's a lot easier to hold angles now. I think the gameplay has improved immensely. There's some issues maybe with anti-cheat a little bit, let's say, in Premiere, but a lot of good stuff going their way. We still got those bugs to iron out. We talked about the clipping issue as well, but I'm excited the way that CS2 has gone at the very least, and I think that once we get these issues ironed out, which did exist in CSGO's early days as well, it will be even better than we had with CSGO.
It certainly will. I do think this is another note, actually, from watching the documentary today, the memories of CSGO. Watching old CSGO footage was, like, shocking when you go back to it. And you're like, man, it does look so much better now, visually. You just get so used to, obviously, you know, when you're watching thousands upon hours of Counter-Strike, you get very used to whatever visuals are present. But you kind of forget that it did look quite a bit different.
It was dated. It was dated. I think the biggest difference is when you see a smoke come out, you're like, what the hell is that? Like, it just looks like
just
the worst.
globs.
Yeah.
I think Lucy had a great tweet about it.
Yeah, she did.
About how absurd those smokes look in retrospect when you compare them to CS2 smokes now.
It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. And I mean, that was the thing I was most excited about. As soon as I saw that trailer about the smoke coming out, I was like, volumetric smokes, that's amazing. It changes the game. It adds another little element to it and looks amazing.
Just fluffy guys. Fluffy guys. Elevate. Let me force some of the pistols. Brett, I don't know how long you want to set up with that Molotov. Hope that was worth it. Because he just got run down. Rifle taken. And his team hasn't even really taken that much space towards A. Because of the molly he was trying to line up, they know exactly where they're coming. Bomb's going to be down now. They got to do this with the guns.
Okay.
Not a lot of firepower on the other side, so they will be A-okay. But there's the one salvage rifle. Dare? It to work. Dare might do it all himself. On for the ace. He's got armor behind this. Doesn't have the kit. Molotov will force him off this bomb plant.
He knows.
Dare's going hunting. He's hungry. Hungry for Darty. Footsteps giving it up. Trying to get back around, and Darty's not giving him an inch. Knows that the bomb is his best friend here. Dare has lost the round. Oh, and he's lost the ace as well. Man. But golly, that was pistols, John. That was just pistols.
That is phenomenal there from Dare. 4 frags out of nothing. Completely nothing. He just peeks around, wins fight after fight after fight, and luckily for Elevate, they had Darty tucked into a corner. Excuse me, not for Elevate, luckily for Boss, they had Darty tucked into a corner, and he was waiting and bided his time enough to ensure that Dare could not clutch it out, because even if he peeks a little bit earlier than he did, Dare was lined up on the angle. Eventually he's like, oh, maybe he's coming around from ramp, and Darty caught him transitioning over with his crosshair. So that will make it 5-2 in favor of Boss, but again, an expensive round, which means that economic foundation has not been found for Boss yet. They've been buying down below $1,000 round after round after round, even with this little win streak that they've gotten. On the other side, sure, the economy's not great for Elevate, but every time they get those types of performances where Boss can't really build that foundation, they give themselves a chance once they get one round victory to really pile on and get some rounds. Peeping, going for a boost here. Well, that's a good one. Wow. Yeah, Freshie had no chance at all. Peeping gets the 5v4.
Not expected. So good start to what is a very important round. Shane with the aggressive posturing downstairs as well. They've got a lot of vision here. The ops posted along with him. It's a good setup if this turns into a B-Steps take. Does leave them light on A, but as we've seen, Elevate are pretty content to play retake A. Oh, Brett gonna get caught. Didn't expect to swing back in. Again, getting caught fumbling with utility now. We've seen that a couple times. Boss are gonna come back to try and address this. Are they saving?
No. 43 seconds left, calling for a save this early?
They're saving. Yep. 5v4, they don't fancy it. They're going to save this one through.
Wow.
That's conservative, to say the least.
Exceptionally.
And it's interesting as well, looking at what they've got, right? Okay, first round loss bonus, not anything great, for sure. PwnAlone will be able to buy, like, one extra piece of utility over here. Can maybe drop his upgraded pistol if they wanted to go for that. The remaining players will be able to put up some util to set up these rifles, but... Very conservative save call here from Boss.
That is not a save you expect in MR12, but we've got it here from Boss. 3 players at the 43-second mark deciding they would not engage any further. Not even a poke, a prod, anything towards that B site, which was a little light. Maybe get a frag, move on to that bomb site. they just want to fight into that next round. So they concede it. Elevate gets a free third after finding those opening 2 frags. And now it's exactly as you said, Mike. Pistol upgrades, some util will be available here for Boss. And a chance. The thing is, I think that's great for Elevate. They're happy as they get an economic foundation, a little tiny one. Because all 5 players survive.
There's nothing wrong with saving 5.
Yeah.
Let's see, looking towards mid. Maybe they just really didn't fancy the setup in the last, but this time mid's being allowed to them. Dia instead will hold it from the elevator side with the AWP. They wanted this to be a split B. There's 2 players down by the steps, 3 located up in towards mid. Oh, Dia's coming back into clear. Does he sweep the boost? Does he sweep the boost? They're not looking for him. Oh, now they're on the angle, but Dia gets the first shot. Now it's big trouble on. The split doesn't work if you don't have both sides, and there's 2 players focused up in towards mid. Utility being exchanged. And the big gun out of the server. Good swing, better shot from Dia.
What a flick.
And again, this seems a bit disjointed from Boss. 1 player's swinging out and towards mid. The other 3 are milling about here in the labyrinth. Now they're going up ladder. I mean, there's just not really any clear objective here.
Yeah, they're a little disjointed. And Dia, we talked about him wanting to get the op in his hands, right? Because he hasn't been able to for the majority of this half. And finally, he gets it. And yeah, they're going to another save. I mean, I don't know. Dia gets the third. His first 3 frags, by the way, of the map come with the AWP. But this is a weird call.
Yeah, this is starting to get bizarre because now you're just getting into a situation where you're never going to be able to put a good gun round around this. I mean, it's going to be loss bonuses building, sure. But no loss bonus for Cryptic and Darty. This is highly unusual. They just...
I mean, look, what they had is more valuable than loss bonus. We can say that.
Yeah,
right?
it is. But then you're just going to force again, and you're just going to get into a situation where you're only playing for the last round, I guess, if you don't win here. Well, or they're not going to force, and then you're going to get into a situation where next round you're going to have a weird buy. So that's what they're going to do. They're not going to buy anything, and Cryptic and Darty will just have a weird buy in the next, assuming they don't win this.
Yeah. Well, here comes an A that'll do no damage. Wow, it just goes right in between everyone on the Boss side. Shane, I think he spots out the head. He did. Manages to connect, but it's through the grate. And on to Cryptic, who goes down to 62 HP. Peeping around the corner, sees the bodies. Shane drops them all. 3K for Shane. Brett and Freshie, the last 2 standing. Freshie's trying to do something. He gets nothing. And Brett, well, yeah. Shane with the 4K. Nothing doing at all for Boss, and now it's another weird buy coming through for them.
This is half buy this to get a good buy in the last? No, they're going in with 3, and they'll have 2 players on Mac 10s, presumably.
But, Mike, you know, if you're an MR15, totally justifiable, right, to try and go for a strat like that. You got a lot of rounds, you know, to kind of build things back up and take that risk of going for a save. But here, it's I mean, you're already in the second to last round of this half, and you've got a weird buy and maybe nothing else in the next round. So that's 4 rounds where you just weren't able to really contest or do much at all. Interesting decision making for Boss. But, I mean, at the same time, they are tied 5-5. They're not out of this at all. It's just weird decisions.
Yeah. Yeah. Still struggling to wrap my head around some of it.
2 in a row like that was strange, for sure. Dare might be able to get 2 of his own. No.
Spray down. Snap's got him. Locked on in. Gonna have a chance for the reload as well. He's just facing. Knows that he's stuck, but teammates have now rallied around. Dia has wrapped this, and Brett has got nothing doing whatsoever. Elevate. What a recovery into this half, into this map, and now looks set to take a lead out of it.
Yeah, it was 5-2 in favor of Boss at one point, but this is 4 unanswered round victories for Elevate. They're looking to make it 5 and take a lead going to that second half. And I mean, given the buy-up for Boss right now, there's a prime opportunity for Elevate to do exactly that. 4 Mac 10 so they can get the util, which is very important on a map like Vertigo, and the Galil for Darty. That is not the greatest of buy-ups, and they're going to have to get a couple of favorable engagements to find their way into a round victory here. Gotta use those flashes well. That's actually a point where they've struggled on the flashbangs. In fact, they end up being flashed more often than their opponents pretty much across the board except for Cryptic. Snav's going to get one onto Brett. That will make it a 5v4. He does get the information as well, knowing that they're pushing up, Mike.
They're so hemmed in by these Molotovs is the problem. And it's a little telegraph now, right? Because there's that deep stairs presence. They're not so wary about the pinch. They can focus in on this mid fight, and bit by bit, they're just falling apart. There's nothing doing to it. Freshie can't get anything done. They're blanked out of this half. Back live in here with the second half, and there's precious little time for Boss to get going. I would like to be able to split this series here up against Elevate. Elevated team that seems to be threatening for the top end of the league right now. Only one loss so far on the season.
Yeah.
If they can secure the 2-0 tonight, that puts them in great standing. Exchange down the ramp. Aggression here from Boss. They're getting frisky on this retake. Getting it started early with the ramp flank, but Elevate, as usual, don't seem to be terribly phased. Shots ringing out. Dinks galore. And this one's getting messy, but indeed,
Wow.
it's as many others have gone. You may have the setup, you may have the strat, you may have the read, but Elevate just hit the gas pedal, hit the headshots. If they can find one more. Ooh. Well, that
Is
might
there
be
a
too
kit
much of an
somewhere?
ask.
There is.
There's the kit. There's the kit. PwnAlone's got it. Needs to stick it. Oh, Dare knows he's pulled him off. Dare knows he's pulled him off. The movement betrays him. And Dare will have the shot and the pistol round, though no survivors.
Yeah, and PwnAlone got caught in the geometry while trying to turn around there and get to the bomb. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. He lost that fight when he missed the shot. And, well, at least he makes it interesting, but Elevate just a firing squad through that smoke, get 2 frags without even seeing the players. Well, maybe they got a glimpse of them as they were shooting through the smoke, but well done. 8th round secured, and Elevate did not lose a single pistol round. 4-0. And that's an important stat to find, especially in BO1s. So, I mean, at any point, BO1s, BO3s, right? I mean, pistol rounds help in MR12.
That they do. That they do. Makes your life a bit of a nightmare if you can't win one.
Oh, yeah. Just to note, Mike, that was Dia's first frag without the AWP in that round.
Really?
Yes.
There you go. After the strong performance on Ancient, it's been a little quieter here.
I mean, once he got the op in his hands, that's the first half. He was great. He just couldn't do anything else.
Yeah. I also think they will be pretty okay with this. By hook or by crook. A rifle snatched away. Cryptic's trying to keep this alive. And Peeping. It's going right into the fray. Ooh, 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 ooh. Man's got skates on. Cryptic desperately wants to keep this rifle up. That will not be allowed. Peeping, making some money here. Darty can finally punish, but can he get out of this with anything worth having?
No. They're going to hunt.
They certainly are. USP on, the spot on. And 3 players do make it through into the next round.
Oh, yeah. Making it look easy on the Elevate side. Yes, they lose a body to Brett's USP, but immediately clean him out. Don't let him save a single thing. And 9th round on for Elevate. We're one step closer to that 2-0 on the night against Boston. What will be a 5-1 record. Like you said, Mike, they're sitting at the top of the league with that type of record. The problem for Boss as well is they went 0-2 in their first series against the Party Astronauts, and now might go 0-2 again. So an 0-4 start is not ideal for a team that was exceptionally dominant last season. Cryptic, nice headshot onto Peeping. There's a 5v4, so perhaps some life still here for Boss. I was going to say, that's such a dangerous spot to hold if you're Brett behind the sandbags there towards mid. Because if you lose the opening fight, you don't get anything. You immediately get traded. PwnAlone finds one onto Dia. So he got the information, then Cryptic gets Snap.
Good hold on the mid play. That's the bomb down as well. Now it's all just Shane. Looking for damage perhaps, so that's not going to be afforded to him. There we go. The defense is erected here from Boss, and keeping 4 alive is going to be important. They're giving themselves a chance to fight here on Vertigo. So they stiffen up. A mid hold is strong, John.
Yeah, no. I mean, look, Brett goes down without getting anything in the round, but he did get something, actually. It's information, and he relayed that to his team. They knew that a couple of players, at the very least, were trying to push up mid and get onto that B site, and they shut them down at every single step of the way. Not a single player lost outside of Brett for Boss. 1:43 on the clock, and Dare's already pushed out and gotten the headshot on the Cryptic. Upgrades his rifle. Freshie manages to get 2 right on back, and the 3rd on Dare through the scaffolding. Very nicely done. 4v2. What a fantastic time for Freshie to come alive again. He had a lot of those plays over on Ancient, finishing with something like 24 frags there. Was much quieter here in that first half, but that's important to see from him. Snap, though, blindsides him with an AK bullet. Just popped up, shot him, and went back into cover.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Right as he looks away. Fumbling for something there. And now, well, let's see if they can take this a step further. Snap and Peeping. Working together. It's PwnAlone up on the committed angle. On the box boost. Ooh, and he's going to suffer for it. Smoke goes out. Does Brett want to play ahead of this? He does. Just smoke lines them both up and knocks them both down. The bold play delivers results here. And the defuse will follow.
Oh, look, I mean, that's a play that can either go completely wrong or absolutely perfectly, and it went the latter. What a play by Brett. Able to secure the round all by his lonesome. He has struggled mightily here throughout the, I wouldn't say throughout the whole series, but definitely on Vertigo. Only 5 frags before finding those 2 to make it 7. And it's an important time for him to come to life. And along with Freshie as well, who had a 3K before that. And surprised they even ended up in a situation that it was that close, given the work that Freshie did prior to this point. Anyway, there's that 7th round for Boss. And there's that great nade toss. Chonky one. Dare down to 45. Dia and Shane down to 70 apiece, or around 70 apiece. PwnAlone's going to fire a shot. He has to fade away. Doesn't want to get overloaded by those Tech 9s. A quick play coming through. Brett and PwnAlone calming everything down. Only 1 casualty. It's Brett. But it is going to be an 8th round easily for Boss.
So we've gotten right back into this, right back into the thick of things. Investment back in for Elevate, but they're seeing what was starting to look like a bit of a one-sided affair. Definitely changed course.
Yeah. I mean, it's great news for Boss because Elevate really were controlling the pace of play since, I would say, the 5-2 mark, right? In favor of Boss. Elevate were taking full control. Finally, Boss have awoken here.
Cryptic with the boost up. Cryptic with the boost up. Waiting on the hole.
Snap's got to clear it.
They haven't done so yet. You'll see some teams devote a Molotov to it, but resources are scarce this time around for Elevate, so they don't really have mollies to spare. They use nades to clear that out. Oh, there's the check. Can't stick around now. Hail of bullets. And they're in a bad spot. Molotov fortunately extinguished by the smoke, I believe. So somehow they've kept everybody alive here. Despite the boost being rumbled, they've taken some damage, but there's the first casualty. It's Brett. Down and out. Still, 3 players are here, ready to receive. The AWP needs to strike true. Oh, it does great damage. But the kills aren't on just yet. Cryptic hanging on to this side hall position. He's under threat. He's under siege. But he turns in time to at least get 1. Molotov will slow this bomb plant down. Smoke to try and cover it off. And Snap is going to play this open. Ooh, that's bold. He does avoid the brunt of the nade as a result of it, though, John.
Yeah.
There's a smoke for this retake. But they're backing off. They're backing off. They're yielding. They're giving. Boss have been conservative on these saves all map. And that's not going to change here.
Yeah, I can't really blame them here because they've made it a lot closer now. It's 10-8 in favor of Elevate, but you also have a ton of money available for PwnAlone and Darty here. They can buy up for their teammates. You secure at least another buy up afterwards because you don't have to kind of go for that risky attempt on the retake. And hey, you get a free frag because Shane was too close to the bomb. Even Snap and Dia take a ton of damage. You gotta be careful of that bomb explosion radius. Anyway, as I was saying, I think Boss are going to be comfortable here to buy up fully and will still have a good chunk of money in the bank afterwards. If it were a more dire scoreline, I might have said, okay, guys, go and try for something, but that was a good call in that situation. Just the T-side saves, the 2 in a row, I still can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're playing the long game here.
Yeah.
And let's see if they can pay it off in this round. Precious few opportunities remain. Everything's going to be valuable now. We're into the thick of things. Freshie wants to get frisky. I'll play the Henny spot. Oh, a swing. Good flashbang. Sets him up. Gotta be a little wary there. Oh, smoke popper. He's ready for it. Not spotting the player.
That's a tough smoke to pop because it spread so far.
I think he was mostly checking to see if there was a player close up that he needed to get away from to save. But yeah, would have loved to have the peek on Dara, I'm sure. Still, they get away with the 5v4. And as we know for Boss, that's so important to them. So they're going to have the advantage early. They're bringing the numbers over as well with the sustained presence outside a ramp. They're calling Elevate's positioning. Putting the bodies here on A. And they're ready to brawl. Molotov forces Cryptic out. He's going to burn. He's not able to escape. But there's a kill coming back through. Freshie standing and delivering. Eventually taken down. Bomb will plant. There's still a Molly and an HE. They can threaten Shane. There's the Molly. Is it late? Oh, Shane just gets away. This is so messy. But Darty has now just worked his way up along the flank, and he'll clear out both. Nicely done there. Boss capitalize on the early advantage. We'll bring this back within one.
Yeah, the save pays off there for the Boss side. They're able to keep a couple of guns alive as well. Thing is, Elevate, they get the bomb plant. They've proven to be quite effective on their pistol buy-ups, which we're probably going to see another one here unless they risk it all and go for a force buy, which would be exceptionally surprising. You've got the lead. Sure, it's only one round, and they have been very good at getting frags with the pistols throughout the entirety of this series. And yeah, they are going to go for that Tech 9 strat again. I imagine Dia is going to get one as well. No, Dia wants the Deagle. So 2 Deagles, 3 Tech 9s. Those Tech 9s are probably going to indicate a quick push. See if that's up the ramp. Well, they're slowing down a little bit. There is a lurk here in Snav as well. And Snav rejoins his team.
Seems like they're going to keep this pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of options they've got here with the one smoke, right?
Mm-hmm.
As that goes, it goes.
Toss the smoke on site. Or use it post-plant if they're that bold.
Pretty far. Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine this is a secure bomb plant. They lose the bomb, it won't matter either way. Snav, though, wins a fight.
Where's that smoke,
Molotovs
guys?
go out. They're holding it. They're holding it.
Snav was out with the bomb there, too. I mean, jeez, guys.
There's some risks. But they are baiting out a lot of the CT util. There's no longer nades. There's no longer mollies. So it's not a bad result, actually. There goes the one smoke. Now they're going to try and get this bomb down. Condense the angles. Swing on in. Freshie's lining up some sort of god flash here. There's the flashbang. There's the lineup. There's the bodies dropping. 1 for 1 from Brett. Isn't the best thing in the world, but they can stall this out till this smoke fades. It's big trouble on. Elevate getting those numbers punched in. Here comes the retake, though. They're wasting no time. They will concede the bomb plant, but the round, not in doubt. Still 3 players lost. That's a great result for Elevate.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say exactly that. The economy isn't able to really settle in on the Boss side. I mean, sure, we're getting down to the latter part of the map, but, I mean, you keep them on their toes for sure. And Elevate were threatening to win that one at one point. I really love the idea. One, the smoke, you know, it's thrown with a little bit of a gap, so you're kind of baiting in that push around it if you try to get the bomb plant. And they did fake the plant. Pulled back immediately, and then are able to get a 1-for-1 trade. So you think, okay, ooh, that's a backstab. That is a team backstab on the Elevate side. Snav has to start this round with 39 HP, completely accidental. You've got to keep your fingers disciplined on that right click when you got the knife in your hands and you're close to your teammates. Anyway, look, it was a good round for Elevate to do that damage. And I thought they had a chance at winning it, but luckily for Boss, they're able to close it out.
Maybe the blood sacrifice isn't enough here. Freshie doesn't think so. Freshie needs more. More blood! PwnAlone will offer it. And now Elevate. At risk of this spiraling out of control. PwnAlone standing behind the Molotov and delivering. Falls to just Shane and Snav to try and work some magic here. Minute on the clock. So they've got time at least, but that's about it. Smoke out to Cement to put the doubt in their mind. That shot goes wide, but the trade is there. The bomb confirmed. And if there was any doubt about which way this was heading, there's not anymore. Snav against the world. And shockingly, the world will win.
The player who got knifed at the beginning of the round is the last one standing. And yeah, Boss taking care of business. You have to wonder if that type of thing happening just throws your entire team off and your entire strategy off into the round. It felt like it in that round. Just what a shame for Elevate. Boss taking 11, so the damage done in the previous round is pretty much nullified, especially considering they had 4 players left standing out of that one. And they got an 11-10 lead. Alrighty. Round 22. Snav takes damage first in this round, but not from his teammate, thankfully.
It's kind of a team that's of two minds right now, based on the investment, right? Bomb plant would go a long way to fixing it. That kill certainly would.
That's overambitious, the peak from Freshie.
Yeah, just overstaying his welcome. Trying to get a re-smoke up and leaving himself exposed in the meantime. We've seen Boss struggle sometimes with these early disadvantages. Cryptic gonna fight it back up. Oh, they're not expecting it, but he's only gonna get one. Great trade from Shane, and this is so messy. Boss are committing themselves into this fight. They're losing bodies. 1-for-1 just aren't good enough here. They need somebody to pull off a play. And Brett, for the moment, is alone. Oh, he's getting so bold. Behind this smoke. Only 8 bullets in the gun as well. Has no opportunity for the reload. So he's gonna need Darty to give him something, and that's just not gonna happen. Oh, on to Darty now. Bomb's getting planted. That might coax Darty forward. Snav dropped. It's not done just yet here, folks. There's a kit. There's no smoke. But here comes the swing off the contact. Shane's still close up.
Oh, they lined up!
And Darty knocks him down!
They lined up for him! Darty is handed a gift! Clutches the 1v3. I mean, I wouldn't either if I was in a situation. That was so fortunate that they line up into his crosshair, into his spray. Ay, ay, ay. 12-10 for Boss. And this is when you call a timeout to calm down everything that's happening, right? For Boss, because they're probably freaking out. And they need to give a chance for their team to breathe and absorb the moment and then realize we haven't won this one yet.
Might need to do a little accounting as well. There's plenty of money. They just had to spread it out a touch. After that one comes down to the clutch.
Oh, man.
Does give Elevate a chance to talk things over here, though. A reminder, that was a limited round for Elevate. They didn't have everything they could want, and they wound up getting it just into 1 player alive. So it gets close. It gets close. Now they got to bang 2 in a row here. I feel like Boss isn't a team to sit on their haunches, though, in this moment, right?
No.
So what are we going to see? What's going to be the change-up? What's going to be the tweak to try and get this over the line?
I don't know if they're necessarily going to change things up too much, but I imagine there's going to be some ramp aggression. They're going to want to take that early control away from Elevate. Even though they've already done it prior to this, I think it's going to be even more pronounced to try and seal this one away. Double timeouts taken, by the way. We don't see that very often. Boss took one, then Elevate called one as well. And I thought that serious point that was flashing, it was going to be another timeout called for a second, but no. And it's not serious point, by the way, guys. It's map point. Just so you know. Elevate did take the first map. And Boss, in the second one, are threatening. Let's see if we get that aggression. Cryptic's going to throw the early smoke. Couple of players charging up. Doesn't look like they're slowing down. Yeah, here they come. They stop in their tracks because of the utility that's tossed by Elevate. Smoked off is Freshie. He's trying to look between the gap of the sandbags. Doesn't really see anything. Of course, that smoke is guising off his vision for now. He's hoping the fade will be in his favor and they won't be watching this. PwnAlone on the other side behind the sandbags is watching for
They're
Scaffold.
staying aggressive.
Yeah.
They're staying so aggressive.
Yeah.
PwnAlone's going to connect on the first. Scaffold player's not there for the swing. Oh, they're not ready for the rifle. They do get the first kill, but PwnAlone able to trade, keeping in the favor. Needs a teammate, needs support. Right now, PwnAlone betting on himself. Right into the fray, and he is delivering. Wants to seal the deal on this win. Slipping away. Dia and Peeping. Still putting up a fight. Still putting up resistance, and PwnAlone is finally silenced. But there's a flank developing. Darty's been working his way up this whole time.
Peeping's looking
Patient
for it.
with it. This has happened once or twice. Peeping's patient with it. Well, wait for the bomb plant. Darty knows he has contain. He doesn't need to rush this.
This is smart. It's so smart to wait for the plant, Mike, because you don't have to give away your flank, and eventually you know that one player has to go and commit to the bomb plant, so there's one less body to potentially be watching for you.
It's all a question of who holds their nerve.
Oh,
25
no.
seconds, and Darty wants to make a move. Based on the timer, he thought he had the moment. It's all going to need to be Brett now. It's all going to need to be Brett. Good nade check on the first. There's the tap on the next. They get an audio cue?
I think so.
He's going through the smoke, and that was a risky play that they will check. Elevate, stay alive. PwnAlone might have done enough, but his teammates couldn't chip in to bring this one over the line.
Oh, man, and you know that death that he had, it was a very winnable situation for him, let's say. He had the time to flick around and lock on and get that op frag. It just doesn't happen. He misses, and of course, after that, even though it was a fantastic effort, and I liked the aggression he was showing with the AWP to really lock down all the angles, his team, like you said, couldn't capitalize on the work he put in. So now we are again down to the last round of regulation. This time, though, it's Boss with a 12-11 lead. They want to close it out and make it 13-11 and win their first map of the season, which would go a long way in building some confidence for them. The problem is their buy. 2 MP9s, a FAMAS, a 5.7, and an A1S, and util is very lacking. On the other side, they've got everything, except for an op for Dia, but that doesn't really matter. Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. That was the moment, man.
Yeah, it was. Darty didn't have to push up. I get it, right? With 25 seconds left, you figured the angle's been cleared out, but Peeping was so patient, and he outweights Darty.
It's the explosive factor of Elevate. They're comfortable in the gunfights. They're comfortable man down. They just need one player to pop off with the explosive play. We got the boost up here. It's PwnAlone on top of the FAMAS. Smoking late there. Already past it. Did they check the boost? Do they check the boost? Bit of spam damage here. Does PwnAlone hold his nerve? Yeah, nope. He's going to be cleared. Dare's going to get that kill. Cryptic trying to swing off of it. Unable to punish. And now out in the open with an MP9. Backpedaling rapidly here. But good luck getting this one through.
Oh my gosh.
Rat's going to try and bring through a flank, but it might just be too little too late. There's a hail of utility on the site. Cryptic's making a play here. Flashbang on, but not enough firepower. This one's looking destined for overtime. Bomb's going to be planted. That flank is now going to start to be activated, but with 5 players alive, there's plenty of eyes to watch this. Brett, though, will shut one of those.
Almost.
Ooh, this is still on. This is still on. The 2-on-3. There's a kit on Darty. And he's going to have to do more work than just defuse. Dia up close. Flashbang to stall them out. A wrap on in. Freshie spots the one. And Shane will silence the other. We're going for more rounds here, John. We're going into extra time.
Yeah, I mean, look, it felt like it was destined to happen. Given the way Elevate had tucked in after that bomb plant, it was just so difficult for Boss to dig them out. They did not show face at all, even with the low HP player hiding behind the sandbags. Just, it was too much for them to deal with. And the util, as was the case at the beginning of the round, really wasn't there for them. So to OT we go. Boss, well, They're probably kicking themselves right now because it felt like at 12-10 they should have closed it out, especially with PwnAlone's effort. And then afterwards, there wasn't much they could do given their buy-up, and they didn't win those early fights that they needed to in round 24.
And now, the clock strikes midnight here on the East Coast.
It does.
We enter the witching hour. I mean, things, well, they have a propensity for getting weird here, John.
They do. Well, like I said before, Boss really wants to crack that win column this season, and they want to do it early. You don't want to go losing the first 4 maps that you played against teams that you should be beating if you want to consider yourselves a team that's going to compete at the top. Shane, going to get the opener onto Freshie. Takes, actually, it was Dare taking the brunt of the damage. Shane just got the finishing touch. Now the nades go in. No one's behind sandbags, so, you know, better safe than sorry. And they charge up. Cryptic a chance to punish here. And he backs off. Okay.
He does for the moment. He does for the moment. They've got this flank developing again, but they need the front to work, and it's not at all. PwnAlone has to get this kill, but it's only a leg. There's the frag coming through, but he's just trying to distract to let Darty to get in. He's so stuck. He's so trapped. He's surrounded. He's continuing to fight, but there's too much work to be done. Too many angles to cover off, and not enough. Just not enough. Elevate pulling into the lead after dragging this map back. Now they've got the advantage back in their favor.
Wow, that was a convincing round as well, pulled off by Elevate, especially once they went for the execute itself. Both players just got completely dominated that were trying to defend that A site, and, well, of course, Elevate had no problem closing up shop after that bomb was planted. Dare gonna get the nade tossed out immediately. Boss need a better effort than that on the defensive side if they're gonna hope to find a win here. Dia just spamming the angle. Freshie's tried this a few times. Just in that tiny gap between the sandbags on ramp, holding it and hoping to get something. It hasn't really worked out for him too much. But eventually he hopes that it will yield something.
Molotovs to start to take some space up towards ramp. Freshie spots, but didn't quite realize there were 2 there. So once again, that position will betray him. Also, Util sailing out. PwnAlone trying to thin the herd. Oh, flying into the fight is Brett. Maybe forcing the issue here a little bit. He'll set up his teammate with the trade. PwnAlone burning. Has to relocate. Has to reposition. Has to bail. And speaking of bail, Elevate are out of here. They realize, well, there can't be anyone on B right now.
And that frag from Shane makes things even more difficult.
Bomb's coming back.
Yeah.
Bomb's coming back. All right, well, they've just killed everybody. Pick your poison. Pick your site. Whatever you want.
Jeez, this is... Oh my goodness, turning into heartbreak for Boss, honestly. They look so out of sorts now in overtime. I think 2 of their worst rounds on CT side were played here in OT. That's very tough. They are literally getting picked apart by Elevate at every turn. Elevate's leading them by their noses. All right. Still one more round in the first half of overtime for Boss to try and get on the board. Maybe some aggression will come through here towards mid. I mean, we already were seeing aggression at ramp, and 2 players died simultaneously in Cryptic and Freshie in the prior round. They need to find something to build off of. And I think you talked about it earlier on in this map, Mike. When they get that 5v4 is when they actually appear to be way more comfortable, which of course is normal, but a lot of teams can recover from that 4v5 disadvantage easily. Boss, maybe not so much here.
They do seem to get a little panicky.
Yeah, exactly.
When the round starts to go against them. Timely top stairs smoke. But this is the changeup. We have not seen a lot of B play for Elevate. Not at all. And you can tell. Look at the lean from Boss. 3 players fully committed to the A-ramp fight. Just Darty here. But he is going to catch a player blindsided. Shot onto the next. Not a kill. But Brett's actually accelerated through and towards spawn, which means that there's no mid presence for the moment. And this is interesting. Brett's trying to make a big play. But it does mean that the bomb's going to be down uncontested. Brett's going to have a lot to live up to on this flank because now they've settled in. Now they're expecting it. Now they're ready for it. They're wondering why they've had no resistance to this point. Utility's going to start to sail over. And Brett down for nothing but damage. Might have not been enough. Cryptic trying to be the hero here. Gets 2, gets 3. But it won't be enough. He needed them all. And now Elevate get 3 chances to put this map away.
Wow. Just Elevate putting on a Vertigo utility clinic right there. Just the volley of util. Simultaneously, 3 pieces of utility being thrown perfectly by Elevate post-plant in that situation to isolate Freshie in mid. The Molotov, the smoke, and a flashbang as well. It's just absolutely everything you could ask for on the Elevate side, on their T side of this overtime. Going on CT side, now they just need 1. Just 1. Boss needs all 3 to force another overtime. They had 2 map points in regulation, and now their backs are against the wall.
Salvo of nades. Resounding in the distance. They're not being shy about using this utility. Over on the Elevate side. Ayers had himself a strong map. Pacing the board for the moment. But look at how little utility they have. I mean, we're a minute in. They've dumped everything from the Elevate side.
They've done this a lot. They did this on their Ancient CT side too. They really like to get that early util out, and I think the pacing was actually off here. Should have waited a little bit longer to at least keep a Molotov in play. Now they just have 2 smokes and 2 flashes. That's it. 40 seconds still.
A little bit to set up a retake if one is needed. It's going to be the B hit. Here it goes. Just going to try and do it by the might of their rifles. Smoke up, give some space. Do they want to go through? That's a big question, but they're actually wrapping. Flashbang's good. Trade better. And at least for the moment, they're keeping them locked out of this site. Good damage on, all onto Cryptic. He comes down to the clutch. The pistol will be enough for Dia. Clearly that's been calmed. I think it was a dink shot on. Dia, does he want to make a move? Cryptic gambles that he won't. But there's the spot, there's the execution, and that will be enough to wrap up our match. Elevate, merciless here in overtime. Had to win 2 in a row to bring us to this point, and 4 more on top of that to seal the deal. Take 2 wins on the night. Move up. I think that might put them in the absolute top of the league right now. Certainly towards the top.
It's definitely towards the top.
And with one of the better win-loss ratios so far this season.
Wow. That is a bit of a collapse from Boss, honestly. 12-10.